Hey, FlimsyLunchTray here, and welcome to our Friday edition here in World of Warships. So where today we're going to look at the Tier 9 French cruiser, battle cruiser, the Brest, or in other words, as Jingles would say, the booby. It's honestly difficult to talk about this ship and saying the name of the ship with a straight face sometimes, but I suppose that's the little boy and all of us men. Anywho. If you are going to be available and free, later today I will be doing a World of Warships YouTube live stream, Black Friday live stream. So 7:30 p.m. Central European Standard Time or 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So, with that out of the way, the Brest is a cruiser with 330 millimeter main battery guns, so 8 guns in total, and 2 forward mounted turrets, with okay secondaries, and so on and so forth. Honestly, my approach when I'm playing this ship, it kind of reminds me of the Tier 6, the Dunkirk, a little bit, and the Brest is a definite step up in comparison to the Tier 8 Cherbourg, which that ship was a pain to grind through. It just kind of felt like it was, if you played Halo, when you have suicide grunts, it just kind of felt like you would run down a flank, you would take one ship, maybe 2 ships with you, and then that was your impact in the battle with the Cherbourg. But the Brest, to me, has felt a lot better playing overall. So we're going to talk a little bit about the ship, and I'm going to highlight this playstyle. So this battle was, I think, just a couple days old. So I'm hanging off here behind the cap to support my clanmate as he steps onto the Delta cap. But as far as the ship is concerned, you do get an upgrade to your hull. You go to Hull B, you go up to 55,300 hit points, which is what you see reflected at the bottom left of the screen, where the Hull A has 50,100. And then after that, you're going to want to go for your gunfire control system. We're going to go from a range of 16.5 to a range of 18.2. So this ship has a number of things going for it. You can see across the bottom in terms of consumables, we have the repair party, we have the engine boost, we have a hydroacoustic search, which comes in real handy against enemy destroyers, and a main battery reload booster, because these guns have a very long reload time, but when you utilize the main battery reload booster, it definitely helps. So a lot of times, if I try to pace the use of them well throughout the battle, I might only have 1 or 0 left by the end of the battle. You can actually see we just activated top grade gunner because we have an enemy ship within, I think it's 11.9 kilometers is the range concealment we have for this ship. As I pop my engine boost to move up further up here on the flank to support the Bismarck and the Alaska. So it feels really good as we have our Des Moines, we have Louisiana sitting on the back side of D. So this has felt like, this is the flank that needs to push up and make a bit more of an impression here. So in terms of play style with this ship, I kind of referenced the Dunkirk, but I need to go in a little bit more in depth, I believe, in discussing that, especially since, this is Tier 9 versus Tier 6. As we catch the Schultz out here, so we're definitely going to go for that shot. She's not the tankiest of cruisers by any means. You're definitely going to want to utilize islands to prevent multiple enemy ships getting targets on you, so on and so forth. As we're going to pop the hydroacoustic search in case the Schultz popped his or dumped some torpedoes in the water. Sorry, I have to talk about one thing before I talk more about playstyle. I've asked the Alaska to slow down. Did I even tell him to stay behind the island? No, just to slow down. He should have turned right into the island, but instead he turns left, and because he turns out showing broadside to all the enemy ships behind here, he is going to die because of not just simply going behind the island. When you in a situation like that and there's a lot of enemy ships, you just go park up behind the island, even if you have to strategic knot steering, which just means strategic grounding where you run into the island, as that is just much better all in all for you to be in. So I'm not salty with him. I'm just trying to give him advice. I mean, it was a kind of a bad play, but Just trying to give him some advice so maybe next time he'll know. We still take another shot at the Schultz because if we can get that destroyer down, this is a 1 versus 1 DD match. If we eliminate their destroyer, then that's going to allow my clanmates and the destroyer to have a lot of freedom and flexibility to have some more map presence here. But in terms of the playstyle of this ship, to me, in addition to the Cherbourg, but the Brest does really well on flanks. When you can really push the flank and set yourself up well, utilizing islands and drawing in the distance, so maybe you are able to activate, the top grade gunner skill to have that faster reload, works really well. But you're moving up, you're using your speed to your advantage here. So I'll often use speed, the engine boost, when I'm working alongside islands. So maybe I move up, I fire my guns past me at the corner of the island, and then I have the engine boost already activated, and you can quickly reverse back and behind. And so you kind of do this rocking in and out motion from behind the island. And I've had some players get frustrated me in chat just because that's how I sometimes play the Brest, just because the ship does well in terms of her speed. But this is a situation here where we have this Buffalo, very good player in the sense that he sees what we're doing and he decides, nope, I'm going to go ahead and kite away and I'm going to control the 9-10 line. So we're punished for being in that position. He's also providing spotting for the Conqueror, who was shooting HE. So if he was firing AP, I really wouldn't have tried to make that turn yet till he had HE loaded. We had HE, so we didn't take much damage there. So now I'm fishing for the destroyer, trying to figure out where he's at, and I saw some AA, so there's something down around that area. And so I'm still conscious that there's torpedoes, so we're going to just simply rock alongside the islands. This is when you're in this position on this map hotspot, and there's a destroyer, both of our flanks are kind of, we're at risk, there's a destroyer throwing torpedoes in towards us. There's a Buffalo Conqueror working the 8-9-10 line. It's really important that we're mindful and knowing that it can be a vulnerable position if the enemy team takes advantage if you just simply sit there. So we move up, we utilize the cove of the island, so we're safely out of the way of the Schultz's torpedoes. And we're going to continue just sitting here. So we definitely have control of this cap and this flank. So my advice to you when... Ooh, someone got slapped. When you're playing Cherbourg and you're playing the Brest, and I will soon be playing, as if it's pronounced, the Marcel, the tier 10 extension of this line. So far I have found working the flank works best, especially even if you're in a div with another pusher. Maybe it's a Russian, maybe it's another booby, Cherbourg or Marcel. Just when you have this speed, because you even outrun a good number of destroyers. So I have punished destroyers for being too close and push in on them and use the hydroacoustic search, which will pick them up 5 kilometers away. And I think detection of torpedoes is 3.5 kilometers away. So it works really well. So Des Moines is pushed up more so here. And so I decided that I need to go ahead and step up. We're going to utilize this rock here to not go too far. Because I want to alleviate some pressure from the Des Moines. I value his DPM of those 8-inch guns. So I keep him in the battle as long as possible. So we are going to sit here and apply some additional pressure to the Conqueror. We're firing some AP. Probably could be utilizing the HE, but the Conqueror heals the fire damage back so well with that super heal. So that's why I've been utilizing the AP for a little longer, but seeing that he's being harassed still, maybe we'll switch back to HE and see if we can't extend that damage control party. We actually got an incapacitation on one of the rear turrets, so that worked out really well to try to alleviate the pressure he's putting on our team here. What's working really well, so this is a really good situation. Because look where our Louisiana is. He's preventing the Des Moines, he's preventing the Buffalo from coming in behind us. And the fact that he's there is hugely helpful. Otherwise, the Des Moines could simply come around, he can catch myself and the Bismarck out, and damage us, or cause a lot of damage to us rather quickly in short order. So that Louisiana is playing really well in that position. So hats off to him, because he's allowing the Des Moines, my teammate in Des Moines, myself, and the Bismarck to do some more damage here. So I did go ahead and move up a little bit closer because I was curious to see what the Des Moines was up to. And I'm just dumping some airstrike depth charges to just kind of say, hey, I know you're there. Like, I have my eye on you. But now we have the Petropavlovsk who's pushing up here. So we go ahead and utilize the main battery reload booster. So I'm hoping I can catch him in the citadel between those rocks, but unfortunately we are not able to do that. But he's gliding out a bit further, so we want to go for the citadel right underneath the main battery guns, and that's going to be a kill. So Petro is very strong bow on, even cutting away, but Petro is very vulnerable to the broadside like most any other ship in the game when you overextend yourself too far like that. Bit of a misplay there by him. So keeping an eye on what's happening here with the Buffalo. The Louisiana just slaps him, so that's fantastic. Give him a well done. And now we're just going to rock back forward. Our team is doing really well, even though we've kind of lost the other flank to an extent. Enemy team has paid for it. So we've been able to take our time and just try to expose the enemy here. So no, it's funny because the Petropavlovsk player is saying that, you know, Petro is not really OP at all. It's okay. So that's rather amusing. He was actually a decent player. I looked at his stats after the battle for saying that, but I think it can be easy to blame the ship even versus yourself if you overextend like that, knowing your ship's limitations and its strengths. And so when you come around a corner like that, you're going to pay for it, or at least I'm going to ensure that you pay for it. So you can see here we've not done a whole lot. We've not done a lot of damage, but we've just been taking our time. We have been kind of like a tick dug in on the side of this island. Very hard to dislodge, very hard to deal with, and then when opportunities present themselves, we take advantage. So we take advantage of the Petropavlovsk. He made a mistake. I don't know if there's a Zuma, I forget what ship it was I killed, out there in the middle. He showed too much side, we get to slap him. Doom gets to step on to C. But the match is about to end, so I decide, hey, I need to go out and do a little bit more before the game ends here. So the Des Moines stern is rather weak, and at this angle we can just simply slap and punish it. So the Brest works really well in close quarters combat if you're utilizing her well. But really utilize the islands, work the flanks. That's my recommended play style for the ship. So we're going to end with 66,000 damage, 25,000 experience, because we're working on grinding the ship, so we had some additional good economics mounted. And we're going to end with 3 destroyed. And to team score, we're just going to be 4th on the team with was that 1,600 base experience. Our Louisiana did a fantastic job. And then the Mains and Des Moines, who was working alongside, Des Moines working alongside the Cap. He did well for as long as he could. Here you can see our potential damage was just over 1 million. I've had matches over 2 million with these ships so far, just because of the nature of playstyle. They don't have the best AA, so you just have to be mindful if a tier 10 CV starts focusing you. You will pay for it. So she's kind of tanky and kind of not. When we do the upgraded commander build tomorrow, we'll look at the armor together, and I'll talk a little bit more about the deck armor and the plating, the belt armor and such, to give you a bit more of an idea. So if you play too aggressive in the beginning of a match with this ship, you will get punished and likely knocked out rather quickly. So you just have to know your ship's limitations, and like I said, utilize the islands, push on flanks. The ship really isn't, in my opinion, doesn't do well like in the mid region of a map, unless, you know, the enemy team is completely collapsed on one flank and your team has the majority of map control. But you just really have to be mindful, because this ship caught out broadside will get punished. So if you liked today's video, give it a thumbs up. If you did not, give it a thumbs down. Subscribe if you do want to see more. If you subscribe, thanks so much. I appreciate it, and we'll catch you next time. Take care.